Please tighten your seat belt. I'm going to take you on a cultural trip. So this will be deja vu with me. I will give you few situations, and you need to imagine how you will behave there or how you will react in that particular situation. First situation from Brazil. Since I came from Rio de Janeiro, that is my city. So imagine you are in a football stadium. This has actually happened during my Olympic volunteer experience. So imagine you are in a football stadium and music is going on. Everybody is very excited in the game. Suddenly, during the lunch or the break, game stops and camera freezes on you. That camera is not a simple camera. That camera is kiss camera. So you, yes, I know, I was expecting this. Yeah, so I should say in this husky voice. So that camera is a kiss camera. And that camera freezes on you, but not with your partner. It freezes on you with somebody else's partner. Okay? Yes, yes. I will not tell you my answer. So, and that camera freezes on you and it comes on the big screen and you have to, in microsecond, you have to react. You have to actually kiss them. You have to act. So you should look good. You should, it should not be like an animal instinct. So it should be, yeah. So you have to kiss, kiss that person, that stranger. And you have right not to kiss also, but people don't give up volunteering. And so that situation, so you just see how this was my first how can I say? This was my first situation I'm giving you, cultural situation. Now there is a second cultural situation. Now we are going to Japan. In Japan, if you enter in a lift, if you enter first in the lift, what you do? You just go and you stand near the number plate and you press in whichever floor you wanted to go, the desired floor. And then you are not a lift man, okay? You are along with the other people. Other people followed in the lift and you ask each of them that which floor they wanted to go and you press that floor. That is a lift etiquettes. So this is a second cultural situation I want you to imagine. And the third one, so how our cultural behaviors influence us in our society. So this is very interesting. This is called Mottei Nai. Mottei Nai is a Japanese concept. It is like nothing is waste in life. So this Mottei Nai, it is also reflected on their waste management concept. For example, the garbage, how we segregate the garbage, normally the wet and dry. But in Japan, they have more than 18 types of garbage segregation. And they do that very religiously. And it reflects on their, the detailing. We always say that Japanese are very perfect people. They are so detailed. They are detail-oriented people. So this cultural behavior also reflect on their on society, on their behavior. Now you must have thinking that what this lady is talking about. The kiss camera, then kachre ka dibba, and then she's taking us in the lift. Right? So I'm talking about culture and how we are perceived culture, our culture and somebody else's culture. So there are two different models about culture. So can you see this iceberg here? So when we say we know culture, we think about, our dresses, our festivals, or we think about the music, the food, the folk art, or the painting. We always think that is the part of a culture. But that is just the tip of the iceberg. And you can see below the iceberg, the entire thing. In this PPT, I could not write so many things. So there are more than 100 things which define our culture. Okay? And you just have to see, because my subject is coming ahead. Okay. This is the onion. This is a kanda. And there was this social scientist whose name was Hofstede. And this social scientist said that our culture is not like a safarchand, or our culture is not like an apple. If you cut the apple in two parts and the two identical judwa bhai comes out, no. Our culture is like onion. How our culture is like onion? So he tried to explain that our culture, the core of the onion, which is value. The value is intact. Value we cannot change. But the first layer, which is connected to the core, it is rituals, where we are different. The second layer, which is connected to the core, to value, which is heroes, and the third layer, which is connected to the core, it is the symbols. So what happened? So when we see the culture, our culture, their culture, or somebody else's culture, this is the thing you have to understand. The value system we cannot change. Either it is ours or somebody else's. Where we can play, where we can change the thing is the first layer, rituals, heroes, and symbols. So I'm going to give you an example in rituals. This is again the example I will be giving you from Japan or Brazil, because I was a resident in Japan and now I'm a resident in Brazil. So there is this toothbrushing thing. It's very routine thing. So what is this? Hamigaki. It is called hamigaki. In Japan, if you go to a shop or if you go to buy your toothpaste, so it is not like that आपके toothpaste में नमक है कि नहीं, because they have whole grocery store in that toothpaste. So they have, accordingly your blood group, accordingly they have, you will be crazy if you go to buy a toothpaste or toothbrushes, because this Japanese society in particular like to take care of their oral hygiene. So this is their rituals. It can be vary from our passport culture. Then there is now I'm talking about Japan, so I'll go to Brazil, because in Brazil what happens, even after the board meeting, people rush to the restroom and brush their teeth. So this is very common. Even in mall, if you go in the mall's restroom, people very casually brush their teeth because it is their ritual. This ritual in their society, they like to take care of their oral hygiene. Now, I'm going back to kiss camera. So now you understand the importance of kiss camera. So you never know when camera will freeze on me and, I get a chance to some selectors. Yeah. This is joke apart. So now you will say that why I'm talking about culture and this, onion and everything. So I wanted to talk about cultural intelligence. Cultural intelligence, which can be called cultural quotient. It is a CQ, like where emotional intelligence stops, cultural intelligence starts. So in today's world, we are being a multinational. Like there is no boundary. There is no boundary in the world. We are working from this country to that country, and we need to understand other person's perspective, other person's behavior pattern, and we need to improve our business, or we need to have a result from that diverse group. So we should know what is cultural intelligence. So this is my topic, and now you will say that do we have to understand all the cultural thing, or all the mythology, or all the things from the different culture, because who has a time? And again you will ask me कि पैसा मिलेगा क्या? So no, you are not going to get a money only because you are learning cultural intelligence, but you are going to enhance you are going to upgrade yourself as a human being. And what happened? There are few tricks, like HBR, Harvard Business Review, has told there are 3 key components: head, body, and heart. So you have to focus if you wanted to cross the barriers of other culture, different culture. So you have to understand what is head. So how your head thinks, the rationality, the communication, the strategy. Then there comes body. What body does, the non-verbal cues, dehaboli, that is the Marathi word. So you can understand the body language of that person. So that is the second part. And third is the heart. You should allow yourself to make an honest mistake. It is totally okay if you make an honest mistake in a different culture. So you have to remember this head, body, and the heart. Just remember trident. So we are Indian people, so remember Trimurti. So it is like head, body, and heart. So now there is one more trick. So how you will, if you are suddenly go to a different culture as a employee, or as a tourist, as a teacher, as a student. So how you will suddenly go there and adjust with them without having a cultural shock. So there are hours. So there are few hours. So you need to understand what is the rituals there. What are the restrictions in that society, in that particular society, do's and don't. You need to understand the rituals of that society. You need to see what is relevant in that society. You need to see what is the relearning in that particular situation. So these all things, you have to remember all these are to cope with the different culture. Now again the question comes that this intelligence is very new and this is very fancy, and you know HR has got one more workshop to do this. So no, it is not like that. Though, yeah, I know. I'm also MBA in HR. So I know all the, so I know that abracadabra. So you will feel that why we should learn cultural intelligence and what is the importance of, and this cultural intelligence, actually this is tongue twisting, so I will call the CQ. So you will say that CQ is not Indian, and you know it came from outside world, and Indian we need to learn because it came from, you know, it's like Western world or the country which has a how can I say, more GDP. So it is not like that. This CQ is our very own. Like Indians, we have this concept, this phenomenon called Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. If the world is a global village, then CQ is the currency to live in this world, that global village, that boundaryless world without. So CQ is that currency to live in that global village harmoniously. That is why we all should learn cultural intelligence, and it will help you. It will help you in your upgradation as a human being. You might not get lots of money, but if you are working with different people, for example, this is the last example I wanted to give you. Even the small things comes with a cultural flavors. For example. This is 2 or 3 inches, and I'm 51 years old woman. So when I was wearing this, so my Indian friend always say कि अरे उम्र का लिहाज करो, you are wearing this. And back to Brazil, where a woman should wear high heels, because when a 14 years birthday comes, it is called quinceañera, and that is a celebration of her womanhood, and her father present her a high heel shoes. So high heel shoes is significant to her womanhood, and those who are the like जो लड़कियाँ होती है, they just love to celebrate their womanhood, and they always wear this high heels. And second part, Brazil is one of the highest exporter in the high heel shoes. In the shoes, yeah. So this is also cultural intelligence. So how हमारे देश में जो बिकता है वो हम बोलते हैं ना कि जहाँ पे जो बिकता है, जैसे कॉफ़ी ब्राज़ील में बहुत है, तो कॉफ़ी इज़ द नंबर 1 थिंग देयर. सो अलॉन्ग विद द कॉफ़ी एंड सोयाबीन एंड रबर, वी हैव शूज़. ब्राज़ील इज़ द highest exporter of the shoes. So shoes comes in that way in Brazil. The cultural significance of the shoes in Brazil is that. So when you will go from this auditorium, so you just try to go on that bridge and shake a hand with the stranger and try to say hello with them without influencing how you wanted to react them, or without controlling their reaction, or without overreacting. You try to hug that person, and that will be a success of whatever I tried to talk in my B2 level English. Thank you so much. Ciao.